Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the channel World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about AEW Rampage October 29th review. Well, October 29th, 2021 review. This Rampage was actually a good one. A real good one. Had 3 good matches. At least the ending of the main event was kind of highly entertaining. The wrestling quality, I don't quite know if I could say it was good wrestling quality, but as a hardcore match, it was pretty decent. We had Abaddon go up against Brett Baker, DMD, in a hardcore matchup. No disqualification, of course. And if Abaddon won this match, she would be able to challenge for the AEW Women's Championship. Fortunate enough, she didn't win this match, thank God. I think that would have really sucked. That Brett Baker would have to defend the title after losing to the same woman in a hardcore match. The action in it was absolutely nuts near the end. The stuff in between, it wasn't all that great. I think Abaddon is not exactly what you would call a great in-ring technician wrestler. She's more of one of those hardcore style based performers, and at the same time, the only thing she's got going for is her aesthetic character that she overinflates with her inability to wrestle, in my personal opinion. But as a woman who can take matches to the extreme, she's pretty damn good. She would fit very well in ACW. But unfortunately, AEW is not like ECW. This match just happened to be her match, and outside of the hardcore aesthetics that she utilized in this match, wrestling ability, I'm not entertained by. I've seen Brett Baker do a lot better with other women. I think she did the best she could with what she had with Abaddon, but I'm not too impressed with Abaddon's in-ring ability, and I don't particularly care to see her all that much at all. I think her gimmick is a little overplayed too. A little over the top, too insane. I mean, she takes Gangrel's gimmick to a whole nother level. And I'm not too particularly interested in stuff like that. But I will admit, it was a fun little main event hardcore match that I felt maybe should have been the opener of the show, because what we got in the opener of this show was main event all the way around, man. I mean, let's admit, Eddie Kingston's not exactly one of your technician wrestlers, but he is a fucking hard wrestler to beat and to overcome. The guy is a tough son of a bitch. He may not have the in-ring technician ability, but he has the heart to want to be a winner. And that definitely showed in this match. These two took each other to the limits. Unfortunately, Eddie Kingston passed out in a triangle choke and was night-night. That's all, folks. He was done. Overall, though, these two guys brawled it out. All kinds of stuff took place in this match, slapping each other around like fucking rag dolls, kicking and punching every which way you go. I mean, they were all over the fucking place in the middle of that ring. And I'll tell you the truth, this match belonged in the main event of Rampage. It was a fun match, and it was really entertaining. But, I mean, I'm not going to bitch and moan about it too much. I mean, me and my friend were talking about it through text, and I was mentioning that to him. I said, man, this match does not belong on the opener of the show. This match is really good. This is main event quality for a Rampage. And I just think that, I wouldn't say they were done dirty. I guess maybe they wanted to give the audience something to watch right away out of the gate because they were sitting there right after Dynamite and this was they were in their third hour and they were maybe afraid that the audience would have gotten bored at that point near the end, so they just wanted to get it done and over with. That's the only real explanation I can come up with. It has nothing to do with competition with WWE, which, by the way, I gotta point out something. If you go on FS1 right now, they are still showing SmackDown. They must have had a 2-hour show at 8 o'clock till 10, and then did a replay of it immediately after the show was over. So they were doing a run over on the 10 o'clock slot of AEW Rampage. Now, doesn't that seem fishy, huh? That's fucking hilarious. I was looking on YouTube TV of the recording that I do every single week of the show so that I could watch it on the weekends and give you guys my review on it whenever I have the opportunity to do so, which I will provide you guys that this Saturday once I get done watching the episode, which I'll do right after I'm done doing this review here. And I just was flipping through and seeing if the recording was already there. And I was just going to take a look and see how the opener was while I was on commercial break with Rampage. And I'm seeing that the show is running on live. And I'm going, what? You gotta be fucking kidding me. And it shows it being recorded for 3 hours. I'm going, did this show go 3 hours? I don't think it did. I think it's probably over-recording past the 2 hours that it normally runs, and they're probably going to record other stuff after that, and that might be the case. It does that from time to time. They do that on Fox. They actually record an extra 30 minutes right into the 10 o'clock news on Fox, so that might be what's going on here. There might be an hour show after that, and that's what it's doing. But whatever the case may be is what it's going to be. But at the end of the day, guys, I mean, it's kind of funny that they're showing a 2-hour show during a 10 o'clock time slot that Rampage is on, and then they say, oh, they're not competition. How the fuck are they not competition if you're showing a show that you already showed at 8 o'clock till 10, and then Rampage starts at 10, and you're showing it over again? I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You're gonna tell me that bullshit? Come on. You're pulling your lariat, man. You're full of crap. So, yes, folks, that you can believe whatever you want WWE tells you, just what they tell you, and believe it, but bottom line, guys, they are lying to your fucking face every single time they open their mouths. Straight up. It's fucked up. But anyway, yeah, this opener was excellent between these two guys. I loved it. I thought it was a great matchup. After the match was over, though, we had a backstage segment that blew me the fuck away. We had CM Punk backstage talking to Tony Schiavone. Tony Schiavone was just getting some words in and asking him how he felt about the big first time ever win debut match on Dynamite. And he said he enjoyed having the time to be able to show up on Dynamite and perform in front of a live crowd. And he enjoyed it very much. And then, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Eddie Kingston's back in the area. You can hear him screaming, saying all kinds of cuss words, being angry about shit, about the match that he had. And then he steps up into CM Punk's face in the middle of his backstage interview and cuts it off. And he's just like, well, what do you think about that now? I'm like, going, what the fuck? What is he doing? And he pretty much did it because he was just pissed off about the loss. And we are getting a clue or an introduction to a program between CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Now, I brought this up to my friend, and I said, how about Full Gear we get to see CM Punk and Eddie Kingston in a fucking street fight that goes from the ring to the outside of the fucking building? Because that shit I would love to see. especially on a fucking pay-per-view. These two guys bleeding from head to toe, straight up fucking doing pure ass street fight wrestling. I mean, hardcore, ECW. I mean, Ring of Honor did that kind of stuff from time to time. This would be like, that's what I'm trying to go with. Ring of Honor type of shit. By the way, Ring of Honor is going out of business. They're really not going to be doing a lot of shows after this year is up, after Final Battle in December. They're pretty much done. They're releasing a lot of their wrestlers, actually all of them, from their contracts. I'm going to pay them what they owe them on the contract. And that's going to be it. They're going to come back like part-time. I don't quite understand this. They're kind of like somewhat part-time wrestling. Like they're going to have some events here and there, but they're not going to be like week-to-week televised shows and shit like that. And that's pretty much it. So they're pretty much dead. And on Sports Illustrated, from what I read, they actually mention it's surprising how Impact Wrestling lasted longer than Ring of Honor. And nobody figured that Impact Wrestling would have stayed around as long as they had. Which is kind of ironic if you think about it. Because even myself, I was saying to myself, oh, these guys are going out of business soon, Impact Wrestling. And they are still kicking, man. They're aligned with New Japan Wrestling. They're aligned with AEW. So they have performers performing on each other's shows. So they got some kind of notoriety and get noticed by the mainstream media, at least from the mainstream, from the large amount of people that watch AEW will be able to see that talent come onto the show, or hear that the talent from AEW went to Impact to get some of those people over there to watch Impact Wrestling, which I have not watched Impact in a long time. I just can't get into it. I really can't. I love the old shows. I loved back when they were called TNA, and they were entertaining then. They had Frankie Kazarian, AJ Styles, the Ultimate X matches. I mean, they had all the great stuff then. Jeff Jarrett, when he was a full-blown piece of shit bad guy. Kurt Angle. I mean, they had it all there. And I enjoyed that stuff. Sometimes even a little bit more than WWE, especially if WWE had been as shitty as it is now during the high time of Impact Wrestling. I mean, shit, I would have been watching Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact over Monday Night Raw that we're getting now if they were competing together on Monday nights. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Monday Night Raw back then was still watchable and bearable to sit through. And today's Raw is just, I know I told you guys, I said I might or may not do a review on Monday Night Raw. I didn't watch it. I was more concerned about watching the Thursday night football game than watching some stupid piece of shit, 3-hour wasted out piece of garbage show. I mean, you can't blame me. Really, you can't. I mean, you guys know how I feel, and you all come here, you leave your comments, and you agree with me 100% every single time. I just love interacting with you guys and having you guys hear the truth and reality of these shows, and you guys totally agree with the comments and belief that I feel about these shows, because they're fact. They're not just opinions, they're reality. It just truly is what it is. And SmackDown at times are pretty much the same way as Raw. They are just bloody awful. Last week's episode, fucking terrible. There wasn't a fucking thing on that show worth watching. But let's get back on to Rampage. I'm very close to done here, though. I just threw that in there just to put a little bit more discussion into the show, because there wasn't a whole lot taking place on Rampage. But Rampage really delivered good wrestling-based action with a little bit of storyline telling, which I really appreciate. And they're introducing a new program with CM Punk and Eddie Kingston. Whether it comes to the idea that I just came up with or just a regular match between these two, let it be for something important for them to fight over. I don't want to just see them do something for no reason. Maybe they have some sort of real grudge that they start applying to this storyline. I mean, they do have like about 2 weeks left, so they could possibly throw some good storyline in there to make them more than just a regular match that just took place over a backstage incident. So I kind of hope that they stretch this out a little bit and make it even more appealing than just what we just saw tonight. But otherwise, on paper, these two will have a great match if it's a hardcore match. Bottom line. Moving on. The next thing and the final thing I'm going to discuss, because I already discussed about the main event and the opener, is Dante Martin versus Matt Sydal. Unfucking believable match. I mean, no, these guys can't really deliver a great story when it comes to two characters building a grudge between one another. They've never been placed in that kind of scenario. But when you want to see pure, unadulterated, just pure entertaining wrestling with great wrestling ability, these two guys can deliver. And man, did they deliver a freaking solid mid-card match. I mean, it was fucking awesome. This guy, Dante Martin, his brother is out with injury, and this guy is lighting it up, and he is on fire as a singles competitor. His brother may be forgotten about, but I doubt that's going to happen because Top Flight as a team are excellent together. And I think that's where Dante Martin belongs. I don't think he deserves to be in the mid-card, and I don't see him ever really reaching that level of main event type status, simply because he doesn't exactly have a good gimmick. He really has got Leo Rush being his talk man, and he's not really got anything going for him as a personality character. So with that and the fact that he has no substance of a character, he's probably better off with his brother in the tag team division altogether. But as in-ring wrestling ability, this guy is superb. Top of the line, one of the best. You put Ricochet in there with this guy, you'll have a fucking you'll have a pay-per-view quality show on a live show. I mean, straight up, man. These guys would belong on the Dynamite main event of the show. If nothing else more important than that takes place. Bottom line. I mean, this guy is really, if you are concerned more about wrestling than you are about storyline based stuff, that's your guy you want to go to. Dante Martin is your boy. But the problem is, like I just said, when it comes to moving him into that main event status, he does not have that yet because he doesn't have the personality, the charisma. He just kind of stands there like he's a quiet, shy guy. He doesn't have any kind of it to him. Ricky Starks, he's got that it factor to him. I mean, he's a freaking broadcaster on Rampage on Friday nights. I mean, come on. But Dante Martin, if you forget all about, every other aspect of being an entertainer, talent, performer, whatever you want to call these guys, he is one of the best in-ring performers going right now. As young talent goes, he is great. MJF is got it all over. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. He's great on the mic, but he cannot do what this guy does. This guy is fast-paced. He is quick. He is awesome. He is a large dude that wrestles like Rey Mysterio. I mean, you can't ask for more. The only thing more than that is the Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix. That's it. I mean, this guy is off the fucking chain when it comes to in-ring wrestling ability. But that's enough about me discussing about how much I drool over Dante Martin with the fact that he is just such a great in-ring performer. But at the end of the day, the guy has a lot more work that he needs to take care of to become that main event status type player. But at the end of the day, guys, Matt Sydal and him performed at a great high-paced level of a match and delivered. Dante Martin wins the match with a great fucking moonsault off the not the top rope, but bouncing from one set of ropes to the other, and then doing his moonsault finish on top of Matt Sydal and holding his legs down really tight and holding him down completely, keeping his shoulders to the mat, which was excellent. Matt Sydal continuously kept trying to kick out but couldn't, and he was locked down to the mat, and that was it. Great finish to that match. So overall, guys, I am very satisfied with what I saw here tonight for Rampage. I think they gave us good wrestling and a little bit of good storyline telling going into the future for the next Dynamite episode, which, by the way, one of the matches I'm definitely looking forward to is Andrade versus Cody Rhodes. That is going to be a great match. I totally believe Cody will lose this match. I think Cody will do the right thing, have Andrade win, or they may not even have a winner. Maybe they have Malachi Black show up and they just destroy Cody Rhodes, take him off television, and we forget about Cody for a little while and he comes back later on. That's a possibility too. So keep an eye out for that, but I think that's one of the best matches going on Dynamite's card next week that I'm looking forward to anyway. But anyway, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. And have a great night, guys. Bye.